there is my finished pop-up December spread. How pretty is that? I love it. Okay, it's time to do my December title page, and I am going to do a 7-piece flower pop-up. So I've cut 7 8-centimetre squares. So they're 8 centimetres each side, and I am folding them in half, and then half again, and then half again. Oh, hang on, I'm going to keep that flat. You don't need to stress too much about this being perfect. I'll show you my practice run. So that's what I'm going to put in my journal. It opens up like that. I had to do a practice run because my first go did not work. Yeah, so you don't need to be too precise. Like when I made that practice run, my squares weren't particularly square. Okay, so now I have my 7 pieces. I'm going to take them and I am going to cut, and it doesn't need to be perfect, but I'm going to cut. Now I like this, and then I'm going to cut like this. So I'm cutting a kind of a diamond shape. I am mimicking poinsettias. Poinsettias. So it's a Christmassy type flower. I have this paper I'm using in my spreads, and so I'm doing a big collection of poinsettias on the cover page, title page. You'll see what happens here in a minute. These are my flowers. I have a couple of spare squares just in case. Right, so I've got to open all these up, and these are basically my poinsettia flowers, except I want them to be that way up. Now what I'm going to do is colour them a little. So I've got 7. Alright, I'm going to show you what I'm doing with one of them, and then I'll come back once I've finished. So on this, I just want to make it kind of similar to these, so let's do a little I always forget to shake these first. They're like paint pens in a way, and I want to curl in on the edges a bit. I think I might switch to my jelly roll. Yeah, that's better. And I can leave 2 of them blank, and you'll see why in a second. Okay, so I can leave 2 petals blank. I'm going to cut off one of those, so cut up the line, the fold line right to the middle, and cut that out like that. And then I'm going to get some glue. I'm going to glue on there. Probably didn't need that much, but anyway. And I'm going to fold that over so it's on top. Okay. Can let that dry. Probably should have done some yellow spots in the middle. I don't know if this will even stand out on top of the white, but I'll do this when it's open on the other ones. There we go. Alright, so that's one. And I'm going to do the rest now. Okay, so I have done all the flowers, and the next thing you do is fold it back flat again. So there's all my flat flowers. Now I'm going to glue them together like that, and then one in the middle, and then two like that. Anyway, you'll see. Right, basically look, you end up with one in the middle there. So the trick here, and the mistake I made the first time I did my practice run, was I glued the whole panel, and you only glue the tip because otherwise it doesn't open. So you can see here, see how they're only glued at the tips there so that they can still open out when you open the page. It won't open if you glue the whole panel. So let's get this middle one. Oh, hang on, leave that one for a minute. I'll do this one. Bit of glue on that tip, bit of glue on that tip, and we're just going to get one of these. We're going to match it like that. Ooh. Now my diamonds are slightly different shapes because I didn't cut them out very well, but I'm not going to panic. Right, glue those. That was just the tips. Now I'm going to do the tip on those three, so the middle three. Just the tip. 1, 2. Right, I'm going to stick this one on. Like that. Hold it at the tips to make sure it's stuck down. Then I'm going to stick these ones on like this. So again, just the tip. And I also want to do that tip on this one, not the bottom one. I think that's right. Hope that's right. Yeah, it is. That's right. You do that one as well. And then we're going to do this one and this one. So it's the second and the third point. Like that. Just those 2 points. And then get the final piece, and we're going to stick that on all 3. So just the points again. And then we're going to let that dry so that it gets good and strong. Now I just want to make sure I haven't stuck. Yep, that's looking pretty good. Yeah, there we go. See, those are stuck together. Just make sure that your flowers aren't accidentally stuck together. See how this one's completely closed? I just need to open that up. There we go. Now you see what I mean? Like my flowers didn't really, like my diamonds weren't perfectly matched, but it doesn't really matter in the end. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. Okay, so I'm back with my journal. Let's open it up to the page we're using. Now here's the pieces I stuck together, and if you pull it by the tip on the top of each side, pull it out like that, it should open out like a flower. That looks pretty, doesn't it? Now, I'm not just going to do that on the page. I wanted to do something a bit extra. And this month, I'm using this little notepad with decorative paper in it. And I've got these 2 pieces here that I thought I might put underneath my flower, like this. And then do a little bit of other decoration as well. So obviously I have to get my page done before I can put the flower in. So let's get that done. I think I'm going to stick with that width because that gives me enough room to write December down the bottom. So I've simply got to, I'll trim off the corner afterwards, The main thing now is to line it up with the edge of my page. Now I can use my knife. Just check. Okay, now I can cut that off. Okay, so let's see if that worked. That's one side. Yep, that's perfect. Okay, now I'm going to glue these down. Could use double-sided tape for this. Good thing about glue is it moves a bit more than sticky tape does. If you get sticky tape wrong, it's wrong. That's pretty good actually. Okay. Right. This does make your journal very fat, doing stuff like this, especially this paper is it's scrapbooking paper, so it's quite thick. This card. However, this is just paper, so that's going to go on top of there. But what I also thought I might do is I've got this washi tape and I'm going to run that along the bottom edge. Okay, so we have our background done, mostly, the bit I needed to get done. Now, how do I put this flower in? You fold it flat, and again, I only want to glue just this tip and this tip. Any more than that, and it won't open. So, all you do is put a little bit of glue on there, and if it falls out later then I'll just have to glue it back in because it's not a lot of glue to hold something. And then I basically stick it where I want it. Okay. Just do a little test. I'm not going to open it right up. That looks pretty good. Okay. I want to crush it. It literally only has that one sticking point. Give it a bit of a stick on that side too. Okay, is it going to stick? Yep, that should hold. Okay, I'm going to leave that closed and come back to it in a bit. Okay, moment of truth. Did it work? Here we go. Yay! It worked. So, oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. That was actually quite easy and I love this. So, the only other thing I'm going to do is, because I'm spending a bit more time on other stuff, actually, I was going to stick some of these on the page maybe, if I like it. I was going to put like that. Does it need it? I think it's nice. No, I think I'm going to just do one on each side. And then the other thing I'm going to do is, when I have a theme that needs a bit of time for other things, I then do stamps for my lettering. So I'm just going to grab a stamp thingamajigger, acrylic block, I meant to say. Actually, I could just use that little one. And because it's easier, I am just going to use a Tombow marker. This is my swatch journal. If you've watched me before, you would have seen this before. It comes out most times. Now, I think it's going to be more of, I think I like the dark colour better, 856. There we go, that one. Easy peasy. Alrighty. So, December has 8 letters. So, what I do, just to help line things up evenly, is I start from the middle, D-E-C-E and then M-B-E-R. So I start with an M. So stick that on there. I often do this instead of using inks. Tombow markers work really well on stamps. We can always do a test one just to see if we're happy with it. Let's do a test on here. Now you see here I've done a test with, this was the Tombow and this was the ink, a distress ink, Tim Holtz. And the first one was too inky and went through. The second one was better, still went through. It didn't improve it much, so I am going to stick to using the Tombow. So let's colour it in. This is the M. And look, there's nothing to stop me going over this to neaten it up afterwards if I really want to. The other option is you can paint it with watercolour. I'm just being a bit more careful to avoid streaks. Yeah, so you can, well, it's still streaky, so that's going to go there. That's my M. MB. It's a bit smoother. Okay, there we go, we've got a B this time. It's a B. These are new, these letters. I haven't used them before, so that's cool. One thing I like about these types of stamps is they're super easy to clean. It's not going to be completely straight. I mean, the whole idea of this clear acrylic block is that I can see through it. Clearly didn't help me. Right, I need, so now D-E-C-E, I need the E again. Now I hope you're going to try this paper craft because that was pretty quick and easy, to be honest. And one more letter to go and we're done. December. There we go. There is my finished pop-up December spread. How pretty is that? I love it. Love the lettering. It's beautiful. Hope you like it as much as I do.